Hi everyone, I'm Caleb Marinelli. I'm the driver of the number 15 Race Gaze Dodge, and I'm here to answer a few questions from you guys before Season 2 of the MLNCS. Alright, what's your background in racing? How did you get involved, and what do you love most about motorsports? That question comes from Swaggy C. Well, I'd say the answer to that's pretty simple. I mean, the Marinellis have been involved in racing for years and years, and both my dad and my grandfather raced out east. They moved out here to Las Vegas in about 1995, and I got my start at the bull ring at the age of 10. Started out in Bandoleros, was there for about 2 years, I'd say, and then was able to move up to Legends, where I was able to win my first track championship. Ultimately, I had a pretty gnarly wreck that resulted in an injury to a few of my ribs that cut my season short, my third season of Legends short. Luckily, though, I was able to get the call up from track legend Scott Gaffarini to run a full-time season in the late models. I would do that for another 3 years, and ultimately wasn't able to get a track championship there, but I was able to get recognition from a few people up in the K&N series and the ARCA series, and then ultimately from a friend of mine, Jared Holmes and Carter Jones. They were looking to start up a new race team in the newly formed Miller Lite NASCAR Cup Series. They gave me a call and I was added in as the fourth car. Carter later added as the fifth, and here we are now. There's been a few bumps in the road until we've gotten to this point, but overall I'd say it's been pretty fun so far being a race car driver. You know, I'd say overall I just love the competition, the competitiveness that all these drivers convey out on the racetrack. It took me a while to really fully come into myself as a driver, gain some confidence on the track, but as soon as I did, I was able to go out there and start winning races. First few years in Bandos, I really struggled, but when I was able to get the move up to the Legends, I really started going out there with confidence, with the same mindset every single race, and I've had the same one since then, to just go out there and go for the win no matter what. I'm here to win the race, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to try my absolute hardest to go win no matter what equipment I'm racing in. That's really what I love about motorsports. It's not really like any other sport. It's not like football. It's not like basketball or baseball or anything like that. It's completely different. Everyone's there on the playing field at the same time, on that racetrack, going at high speeds, and everyone's there for one victory. That's what's so amazing about it. Alright, the next question coming from Fat Ass Pufferfish. How would you describe your driving style? Okay, that's a really good question right there. You know, over the years as a race car driver, I feel like my driving style's matured from what it started out as. Again, struggling the first few years being out there on the racetrack, sometimes I would be over-aggressive with something, or I wouldn't push it as hard toward the end of races, but it's gone to a level nowadays where it's not necessarily aggressive. I'll only be aggressive when I need to be. Like it was shown in the MLNCS playoffs, and it was one of the things that really held me back, was the fact that I was never really aggressive when I needed to be. I should have been a lot more aggressive later on, but there were also times where I was just caught up in wrecks and there was really not much I can do about it. Wrong place, wrong time. But overall, like the way we handled it in the round of 16, I'm not going to go out there and like make an aggressive bump and run or move someone out of the way on like lap 1, lap 3. I just got to take some time to feel the car out, see what I can do with it. Later on in the race, we'll see how far up in the pack we can go, if we can go up there and get the race lead. But if it's time to go, it's time to go, and then we actually start going, moving people out of the way. Not saying something like the bump and run's my favorite move or anything like that. I never want to use the bumper. If I can race someone clean, an entire race, if I can just race clean and get my car through unscathed, that's what I would prefer to do as a driver, but sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. I'd say mine's similar to a lot of other drivers, to be completely honest, but I'm not someone who's going to go out there with 100% aggression, especially when it's not needed. Alright, this next one is from Anthony Ramos Dabbing. What is your favorite track on the schedule, and which one do you most dread going to? Okay, this one could go in many different directions. This answer may be just a little bit biased, but I mean, personally, some of my favorite racetracks are the 2-milers, like Auto Club in Michigan, especially Michigan. Just, my type of racing, I prefer a more wider racetrack. I like short tracks like Martinsville, Bristol, Richmond, but a wider racetrack is always good, especially for the racing we have in Michigan. You can mainly run it wide open. There's so many lanes, so many different racing lanes that you have, and it provides entertainment for the fans. It's fantastic. Just look at the race earlier we had this season. We were able to handle it just right, have battles with guys like Marcus Wong, Ravid Dagan. Overall, just one of the funnest races I've ever experienced, and only my second or third time at the track. So I'd say one like that is probably my favorite. In terms of tracks I dread most, I'd probably say Denver or Talladega. You know, super speedway racing has always intrigued me in the past, you know, watching races from home in the NASCAR Cup Series and lower series and everything. But actually being in the car, still trying to learn how to maneuver my way around these massive racetracks. Again, I'm good at tracks like Michigan Auto Club, but when it comes to real pack racing and drafting and just these massive, horrendous wrecks that can happen at any point, tracks like Denver, Talladega, even Daytona at some points are just really have been absolute hell for me. I mean, just look at what happened at Denver. Me absolutely just rolling down the front straightaway wasn't really that fun. I mean, it's fun when you're in the middle of it, you're able to figure it out, make your way up through the pack, maybe get the lead for a bit, but it's a struggle. It's difficult as hell, and hopefully at some point I'm able to improve my finishes and my overall running position at tracks like that. Alright, this last question. Why are you such a small bean? This question coming from... Alright, who's the smartass? No, I'm not answering the question. Well, that's all the questions we have here today, but just remember that you can watch me, Caleb Marinelli, next season in the MLNCS on the NASCAR Amino Network and Inferno Zack channel. See you guys next time. Fuck!